The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Tuesday, the 30th day of August, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sancho Durham, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sancho, it's Tuesday.
Good morning.
2 for
The
2.
first time I've seen you this week.
I mean, it's still early. It's still early. Yeah, well, you're one of the lucky ones. You're one of the lucky ones.
Oh, stop it.
The lucky ones. How was your long weekend?
You know what? I had a very relaxing weekend. What did I do?
You didn't go Connie game or nothing?
I've never been to a Connie game, Jamal, in my entire life. Can you believe that? You would think that I was one of the girls that got dressed up to look cute. Never been to a Connie game.
You know, I mean, I can't fault you. You're from the other part of the island. Can't fault you on that.
You know what? I'm going to let you have that. Cop match is over. That's the only thing I really go hard for. I honestly don't know anything about Bayless. I see you guys talking about it, Bayless Bay and St. David's and Flats. I know nothing about it.
Yeah. Again, I mean, you know, I feel for you. I mean, not everyone's privileged to, you know, be a part of the Eastern Counties. But that said, we'll have to welcome you down to the other side. You know, we do things like 3 different times of the year. You know, it's like a family atmosphere. It's I guess it's the warm up and the warm down to Cup match.
When was the last time?
Pardon?
When was the last time you've been?
I don't know, but I grew up at Eastern County. I've been at Eastern County probably more than anyone that goes today. Literally, I grew up. I was born at Eastern County. I was at those games 6 a.m., 4 hours before they started. Yeah, I was a child of Eastern County, but obviously not living in Bermuda, so I probably haven't been in quite probably 10, 15 years. But no, I was born in Eastern County.
Okay, so I'm going to put it on my to-do list for next year.
Yeah, we would welcome outsiders. We welcome outsiders.
Let me, make sure you're back. Show me your husband.
Yeah. We'll think about it. I mean, I'll just say this much. Everybody knows Somerset won't be anything without the Eastern players actually showing up and teaching them how to play cricket. So you'll come down and understand the foundations of what makes Somerset actually good at cotton match. So we'll bring you down there to check it out.
Okay, so you're going to take it. Okay.
Yeah. All right, greetings everyone. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today. We welcome Stephanie Outerbridge from the Coalition for the Protection of Children on. We are having a conversation. We're preparing children for the upcoming school year. The daily play is a Remember When. Remember When. Sancho, did you see that Serena Williams played last night?
I did.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to watch it. I saw like some reruns, so we know that she won. I wanted to watch it, but Maddox asked to take me on a date. So my son Maddox and I went on a date last night, and he was the best date ever. But I really wish I could have been watching Serena.
Hold on, go back. Did Maddox pay?
My little broke friend did not pay.
Oh, okay, all right. Those are the best kind of dates when you ask the lady out and she pays, bro. I got his learning early. Good stuff, fella. Good stuff.
Yeah, but we went to Dockyard to Bonefish and to see 2 cruise ships in. It was a lot of buzz. It was a lot of people. We learned how to play dance salsa. We had a really good time.
Play salsa sounds like you were making chips. But anyway, Serena did win last night, folks. She is not yet ready to say goodbye, so she'll be going on another round. Serena Williams, keep that in mind, Serena Williams. But otherwise, I heard you mention two cruise ships. We had some interesting happenings at the airport yesterday in Bermuda. Anyone read about anything that happened at Bermuda's airport yesterday? Anyone? I mean, I'm just saying. I was just minding my business. My mic's not up. I'm sorry. You all couldn't hear me. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Anyway, I was just minding my business, and some WhatsApp messages came through. And when those WhatsApp messages came through, it was people sending me links of something happening at the airport. And then I was on Twitter and I came across some guy's tweet, and it looked like some people were saying they were stranded in the middle of the Atlantic, for what it was worth. So, therefore, our friend Google went on there and Royal Gazette titled "Passengers Forced to Sleep at Airport After Flight Problems." And then it goes on to say on the Gazette, more than 300 passengers were forced to sleep on the floor of LF Wade International Airport after a London flight had to be diverted to Bermuda. Well, long story short, a flight was having mechanical issues, folks, and the flight diverted to Bermuda on its way to London from Miami. Apparently, pilots said they were having some issues, I guess, smoke in the cockpit. And Bermuda was probably, the best, safest place to land what I believe they said is American Airlines' largest aircraft. Well, passengers were not too happy. They were upset that they didn't get to go to a hotel. Well, the crew got to go to a hotel, but they were upset they had to stay in the airport. And some issues where at first people were saying that they didn't get to the airport because Bermuda's COVID rules or whatever, COVID protocols, I should say. But the government of Bermuda actually said that they were ready. They were pretty much ready to assist and give antigen tests, but it was the airline that said no. Well, I can tell you, and I think Phil and Larry might have said this in the chat, right? These folks are probably still likely to travel American, but it could have possibly been a missed opportunity for Bermuda. So the question of the morning, my friends, is what can we learn from the AA passengers feeling abandoned at Bermuda's LF Wade International Airport? What can we learn from that experience? What you got for us? What can we learn? Because they were saying they didn't get fed for like
10 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
10 hours. Now, obviously, I'm just going on what I read. But in saying that, I've been to LF Wade Airport twice since they've opened the new airport. And Jamal, I miss the old airport. Isn't that insane?
You do.
I do. So listen, I used to travel a lot. When I tell you, I was probably traveling every 2 weeks back and forward nonstop. So I used to have a routine where I used to go up those escalators and I went to the restaurant and I had a little meal that I ate, and it was great for me. I have been to the new airport twice, Jamal. I can't even find anything to eat.
Well, I mean, I honestly, I didn't. Nostalgia. I may miss some things about it, but I definitely think it was time to get rid of it. Like it's like that car.
Time to get rid of it, but I don't think that the new airport was.
Well, that's neither here or there in conversation. I mean, these people were abandoned. They're telling people they were abandoned, right? They're basically.
They didn't have food for 10 hours. They had to sleep on the floor.
But whose responsibility is that? Is that Bermuda? Is that the airport? Is that American Airlines? People sleep in airports overseas all the time because they have much greater volume of flights, right?
It's not equipped for them to be sleeping overnight. Our airport is not equipped for that.
Fair enough, but
this is my point.
How do they end up sleeping there? What can we learn from this? Do we need to better prepare the airport for situations like that? Like
who has the upper hand? That's the question. Who has the upper hand in the say in what goes on? Because obviously, I feel as if as Bermudians, if we're at the airport, they should have been like, no, we need to test these people and make them comfortable. But who has the upper hand? If the airline is saying no, it's okay, we'll be fine, we're going to bring a new aircraft in and they're going to get out of here, who has the upper hand in the say? Because it's horrible for Bermuda. I've read 2 stories so far and it's horrible.
Oh yeah. And I think one of the guys on Twitter tagged, he actually tagged the what they're called, the travel websites, the travel like writers, like View from the Wing and the Points guys. So from that perspective, I'm just trying to bring up one story. That's not it. That's the independent story. There was another one I was looking at. Yeah, View from the Wing. That's another one. Viewfromthewing.com. But the title, just American Airlines passenger stranded mere feet from paradise, complaining about lack of food. The way it's written is to answer your question about upper hand, is it a security risk? Number one, let's put COVID aside. Security risk for folks to be in Bermuda's only airport. Let's stop calling it an airport. It's a terminal, right? It's a terminal. It's Bermuda's only airport terminal. Is it a safety risk to have folks there overnight? Now, then from what I'm reading, and I'm not taking the responsibility of Bermuda, the government, the airport, but from what I'm reading, it seems like American Airlines were just being cheap. They didn't want to have to pay for these people to go to a hotel, 300 something people. Then I read another article that said Bermuda didn't have the rooms to accommodate. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but I saw another article that said Bermuda didn't have the rooms to accommodate. And I'm trying to find which one that was. So I think the broad question is, what can we learn from the AAE passengers feeling abandoned at Bermuda's LAFA International Airport is because of our Bermuda's location, which is a positive in many respects. This is a situation that may happen, every now and then. We always read in the newspaper, flight diverted to Bermuda on its way from New York to South America or whatever. But should Bermuda better prepare itself, or is Bermuda, look, this is what we can offer, this is what we can do. Now it's up to the airline. We have no say in that. I just feel like there's lessons that can be learned from this. And as Phil and Larry said, these folks will still fly AA, but it could be a missed opportunity for Bermuda. And Bermuda really comes out looking just as bad, even though it's not on Bermuda, at least from my perspective. I don't know. Audience, what are your thoughts? Tanya Cheeseman says, can Bermuda override AA?
Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, if they want to cover the cost for the passengers who have literally put nothing in Bermuda. However, we spend hundreds of marketing dollars and with no guarantee for return. So if Bermuda would have offered to pay for them to put them in hotels if there was space, this could have been a good thing where this would have been good word of mouth marketing going forward. Look, we were abandoned. American Airlines didn't want to do anything for us to help us. And Bermuda took care of us. They put us in a nice hotel. They fed us. They got us back to the airport. It could have been a missed opportunity. It could have been costly. But again, we spend that money on marketing, right?
I was going to say, but if we set that precedent, then moving forward, does the airline start to take advantage of that?
Another good point. So
it's like if we do for one, you have to do for all. So if we choose to do it this time, and then it becomes like, oh, okay, if we divert to Bermuda, they take care of our passengers. We don't want to be taken advantage of either.
I just want AA, Sancha. I do. I really don't. I know. I think this one's on American Airlines. I really, really do. Shika Reyna says the airline has to agree to pay for room vouchers. Yes. And again, from what I'm reading from these various articles, they did not want to pay. They didn't want to pay. Other articles saying they were in their hotels. Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, like you said, even if they had enough, if the airline was willing to pay, do we have enough rooms for that? For 300 people at this point?
Well, apparently, according to some articles, we didn't have the rooms. So that's again, it's one of those. What do we want to believe? Carla John's asking. There must be some sort of emergency protocol for this. No, well,
but it's happened in the past.
Carla, I don't think so. In the past, when it's happened, I don't think there were COVID protocols. Number one, but also,
one of the things, and I don't want to put this on Bermudians and Bermuda, but one of the articles read about, like, they were going on about the ground staff for American Airlines, which would be Bermudians who work for American Airlines in Bermuda. And it's unfortunate because, while that may be part of their job, I'm not quite sure any of them were prepared for it in that respect. But I don't. This is a tough one for me. It's a tough one for me.
But Jamal, let me say this: even if they slept overnight, AA didn't want to pay for the airlines and all of that. I mean, the hotel rooms and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way they should have been fed at 12:30 the next day. First thing in the morning, and you have kids. Like,
cookies and water, Sandra?
Well, I saw a picture of eggs with this like burnt.
No. I mean before that, because I think a guy was saying all they had was He had the cookies, the ones for the airport.
The ones you love so much.
Yes.
You would have been okay.
I'd have been good, player. I'd have been good. See, you give me those cookies and some water, I'm good. I'm malnourished.
The blankets and pillows had to come from off of the plane. I think at least it should have been damage control. Like, these people in the airport, somebody should have been woken up that night to be like, can we please have food 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning for these passengers?
We got a lot of comments coming in. Let's go to some of the comments. Traveling Trotty and Sam Cat plays for you.
Did the government share with AA that they were ready to do testing? To say you were available and offering to do testing is two different matters.
I agree.
Yeah. No airport is equipped to be slept in, period. You go anywhere else, you get stuck, you sleep at the airport, and no food would be available at those businesses close. Not a risk as security is present. But
Manuela John, hold on. We got a lot of comments to go through. Manuela John says it appears AA has charge of their passengers when stranded, no matter what country they are in. Some years ago, they were stranded in JFK, and we had to stay at the gate. Traveling Trotty asks an interesting question. Do these passengers count towards our tourism numbers? See, you just starting trouble. Renee Simmons says, I believe all functions of the airport fall under Skyport management, so that issue might be between Skyport and AA, and they need to sort out in the event there are other emergencies. Well, but there is a government part in this, which is the TA form and the COVID protocols. So I don't think Skyport is in charge of the COVID protocols. So I think, while you're right, I think there's another component because of the laws or policies of Bermuda. Sandra, you want to say something regarding our earlier comment?
What I was going to say is that, yes, wherever you go, it's their responsibility, and people sleep in airports all the time. But their airports aren't as small and limited as ours, right? So you get stuck in New York, you can walk down the hallway to a Dunkin' Donut, or they may be closed, but they will be opening at 5, 6 in the morning. So you do have choices, and you can take care of yourself somewhat. If they are being told they can't leave the airport, they have to stay in that terminal, and no food is being provided. Like I said, on a good day, I find it hard to find a meal when I went.
No, but they have that in Bermuda's airport, that we have that space that opens early in the morning for the flight that is still going until September 6th. So there's no different from Dunkin' Donuts in that respect. But also, someone said, I must mention this since you said it, they were given vouchers, but the vouchers were not honored wherever they were trying to use them or something. So I don't think that situation differs for Bermuda. I think it's the same exact thing. It's just like she said, in New York or wherever, those places close and open a certain time. Now, maybe that when it opened in Bermuda, they didn't feel like they should have had to pay for it because it was not their fault that way they were there, right? It's like we're really trying to figure out, one, who to blame, two, what's the solution if it happens again. And I think that's where we're conflicted, because I feel like it's a missed opportunity, but Sancho makes a great point. Like, we can't open up the gates and then it's an open season going forward, right? Like, we can't say, oh, we should have took care of it, and then, oh, well, we'll divert to Bermuda. It won't cost us anything. Next thing you know, everybody's diverting to Bermuda because they know it's open season. It's Michael Daniels says the airline should have had food on board. Traveling Trotty, she says, I have been stuck in a country with not enough rooms and priority was given to elderly and families with small children. Sherry Vanderpool says, but in the States, at least some vending machines. Oh, they don't have vending machines in Bermuda?
Jamal, I don't think, maybe you just get to the airport and you just run straight on the plane. Like I said, I've traveled twice with Maddox and I've tried to figure out like, what to feed us. There's nothing. There's nothing.
No, I left Bermuda 3 weeks ago and that line was so long I didn't get in it because I don't drink coffee, number one, and I didn't want a muffin, but that's what opened first.
No restaurant choice. Like I can't say, let me grab a sandwich.
Yeah, it's only one restaurant up top, and then you got the little, what's that place, like to get the coffee and whatever?
Maybe I missed the restaurant. I need to.
The restaurant's at the very end on there. It's one restaurant down there. So once you get upstairs, maybe you're getting right on your flight. But no, you go upstairs, right? The restaurant in the airport is at the very end. Before you get to the end, you got the duty-free shop, and then next to the duty-free, you have the little coffee shop where you could get your, small little stuff like you have in most airports. But that's what you have up there. But to your point, Sancha, the options are much more limited than probably what we were used to before.
Yeah.
And Sloan Johnson says it's like $30 for a burger. Well, hey, look, I don't eat burgers, but it must be a good-ass burger for that. Look, let's bring Leanna in for the conversation. I don't know what Leanna's top story is. Let's take a guess. You think it's this?
Yeah.
I hope not. Let's see, because let's take a bet. What you think her top story? You think it's this?
I definitely $5.
I'm trying to think what else in the news.
Let
me see what the Royal Gazette front page say real quickly. Hold on. Because I'm willing to take a. Oh man, government accused of political interference after ex-PLP MP is on the RA board. Oh, hell, I'm sorry. I really did go in the Gazette. I'm sorry, Lee, I'm bringing you in. That's the top story in the Royal Gazette. Why you all didn't tell me that today? Why did you all let us talk about it? Hold on. Can I share a quick opinion on that before we run?
Thank you.
Let's bring Leanna in. Let's bring Leanna in. I want to say something about that.
No. Good morning.
What's your top story, Lee?
Well, Sancha lost that $5, so I just want to know who she's giving it to. Is it me or you, though?
He just said, "Let me look."
But he cheated because he went and looked. Yes, we're discussing government's, usual interference.
Hold on. No, seriously, sorry. Folks, can we talk about that like tomorrow at least? Because I've been telling you. So let me just say this.
Oh gosh, Sancha.
Folks, you all said when the premier came on this show, you all heard me say to David E. Bird or E. David Bird, whatever he chooses to call himself. You heard me ask him, is it not political interference with milk guy Keynes, right? You heard me ask him, is it not political interference putting him on the way? He said, is it political interference with him working at the CEO as Balco? This guy can't be that stupid. But then you got a front page talking about, I ain't even read the story, mind you. I'm just looking at the headlines, so I could be wrong, folks. But I'm just saying, if that's true, remember, you all sat silent. You allowed it to happen with Keynes. Now this is what Bermuda's gonna be if you all sit back and don't do nothing and just listen to us talk and ask these silly people questions. Man, you all better stand up. You better put yourselves on the line for the sake of your children. They got you pepper sprayed for a damn airport. Literally. And you're letting them put this stuff in place. And it's not even we have the most incompetent people who run Bermuda. But what does that say about the people who vote for them? What does that say about the people who allow them to do it? You all crying about worrying about David Burke going to be premier or not come October? That's on you. And if they're dumb, stupid, and incompetent, what does that say about the people of Bermuda? Leanna, you ready for your
move? We're going to woo-saw on that one. Gosh,
oh, my goodness. Over to you, Lee. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thanks, Jamal and Sancha. Quite passionate this morning, as we can see. Good morning to all of those that are tuned in with us today. I hope everyone is having a great start to this day. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Well, as he just stated, the government has yet again come under fire for meddling into affairs after an ex-PLP MP member has been appointed to the board of the Independent Regulatory Authority. Now, Michael Scott, a former Progressive Labor Party Attorney General and Senator who retired from frontline politics in 2020, is listed as a commissioner on the RA's website. Shadow Minister for Legal Affairs and Home Affairs, Scott Pearman, expressed his opinion on the appointment of Mr. Scott, saying his affiliation erodes the independence of the energy and electronic communications sector regulator. He said, quote, of all of the talented and capable people in Bermuda who could have been selected as the new commissioner of the regulatory authority, a former PLP MP has been appointed. This will come as no surprise to those familiar with how the Burt administration operates. Sadly, it is nothing new, end quote. Now, its board of commissioners is responsible for the actions of the RA and the general administration of its affairs and businesses. In other news, Minister of National Security, Minister Michael Weeks, is encouraging residents to remain a level of preparedness in the face of increased tropical activity in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, meteorologists are currently monitoring several weather systems now appearing in the Atlantic Ocean, which have the potential to develop into tropical weather systems in the coming days. Now, this year's season has had a slow start with only 3 named storms to date. The season is still forecast to be busier than average. Now, as of yesterday, the U.S.-based National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration was watching 4 areas for potential development. The system most likely to strengthen was yesterday located east of the Leeward Islands and moving west. Now, Mr. Weeks urged the public to be prepared and said, quote, while we have been blessed to have experienced a largely uneventful hurricane season so far, I must stress that our peak season has yet to start and we must prepare appropriately, end quote. And as we know, the city was buzzing this weekend with thousands flocking to the city of Hamilton to celebrate this year's Pride Parade events. Now, our news correspondent Maya Palacio was out and about in the Pride activities over the weekend and spoke to a participant as well as legend Sybil about their feelings towards this milestone.
We paved the way for the lot today and made it much more easier for them today. Because back then was harder. So when people called your names, you just say names back to them. The same thing they say, you say back to them. But we made it easy for the lot today. But nowadays, they don't open the closet, they just jump out. There's no doors.
This year was the first year that you were on the floor, but this is our second Pride Parade. How did that feel versus like you thinking about when you were 17 years old to this moment now?
Well, I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked because it's like I never, dreamed in my lifetime that we would ever see Pride. I honestly thought that in my lifetime that I would never see it. But it was very vibrant. It was it was fierce in many, many ways. And because for me, the mindset, I had to think of New York, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like sometimes I was pinching myself because I couldn't actually believe that this was happening. And I'm going on Court Street, Court Street of all places.
Thanks, Maya. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 87 and a low near 78 degrees. Get ready for another hot and sunny day with a shower or two later this afternoon. Now, the surface high pressure keeps the pleasant summer weather for today, but a trough is moving into the area tomorrow, which introduces increased cloud and showery conditions. Now, many might welcome a cooler weather system as the humidity continues to drop, now standing at 72%. That's all for our Daily Hour News Break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sancha in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
Got me all up. Hey, you got days of the year for us, Santa? Oh, hold on. Sancho's on mute, folks. Go ahead, Sancho. I'm sorry.
Sorry, me and this mic.
Mm.
Today is National Grief Awareness Day in the US. It's dedicated to raising awareness of the many ways in which individuals cope with loss. It offers resources to those going through personal losses and reminds us to support people we know who are grieving. National Grief Awareness Day, founded by Angie Cartwright in 2014, hopes to encourage open communication on loss and bereavement and better information for the public of the facts of grief. So I feel like we've all lost someone and dealing with the grief of it. And today is that day to reach out to somebody and make sure they're okay.
Thanks for that, Sancho.
Thank you, Sandra.
Like to lose some politicians. Lee, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you keep your cool, okay?
All right, Lee.
Talk to you later.
I told you all. We told you all. No, you're still silent. Still silent. You're still letting them just treat you any way they want. I don't know. We're going to take a quick break, though. I'm going to fill up my water. You all stick with us. We'll be right back.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi, I'm Karen, a nurse at the old folks home. These long hours used to kill my feet until my hairdresser told me about a great place to buy a pair of clogs. Medical House. Finally, relief. They also carry uniforms in bright, bold colors, and not to mention the support stockings.
Karen, Miss Soltis bet her bet again.
Oh gosh, these days, I need all the support I can get.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendy Town Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
All righty, welcome back to the big show. She's Sancho Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. I'm going to tell you what I'm laughing at. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed on our website so you don't miss a chance for updates, promotions, prizes, and more. Also, if you're on the go, you can't watch us, you can listen. Download the app, BCG radio app, that is, for Android and Apple devices. So I just pulled up on my phone another government-related article. Folks, when I wake up, the government is the furthest thing from my mind. I do not want to talk. Trust me, I don't. Because it actually raises my blood pressure. So I take my blood pressure before and after this show. And this is one of those shows where it's probably going to be a bit up, right? But I say that because I don't know this young lady. So it's not personal in this respect. But the Royal Gazette decides to be in my timeline, my feed. And I see this article by, I guess she's a senator. Senator, is it Ariana Hudson? And the title is Bermuda on the Rise. And it says, the big headlines are GDP is up, consumer spending is up, employment income is up, tourism arrivals and spending are up. And I'm just like, it's really official. And because we have a very important guest, Stephanie, backstage. I'm not going to spend time on this because trust me, our children literally are much more important than giving the time to these incompetent adults. But I want to say this because we'll probably continue this conversation tomorrow. Listen to me, folks. Seriously, I'm speaking from my heart here. Literally my heart. If we're at 0 today, right? If we're at 0 and we're at 1 tomorrow, that's nothing to champion when everybody else is at 20. when we're at zero because pretty much the world shut down, like you're comparing Bermuda being up. You're not including the increase in prices to do with spending being up. Like you're not, it's just ludicrous that they think the Bermudian people are so damn stupid. It's unbelievable. And I challenge you all with all my heart to ask questions, to challenge them. If you don't, look, you all heard me. I'm an American citizen at this point. I'm good. I keep telling you, just like I said with Dave Byrne, I'm good. I'm not, like, I just don't understand why you all don't fight for a better day for you and your children. Your community deserves better. Your community deserves better. You deserve better. All right, I'm done. Let's bring Stephanie in. Woo. I hope I make Steph uncomfortable. I hope she's good. All right. Good morning, Stephanie. Stephanie's from the Coalition of Protection of Children. Thank you so much for your patience. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Sandra.
So I'm not trying to edge anyone because we all know Cher's the oldest person in the crew, but Steph, it's been like 30, 40, 50 years since I seen you.
I don't know about 40 or 50, not quite there yet.
No, but it's great to see you. It's great to see you, especially in this respect. But first off, we've had people from the coalition on before. Miss Hunt, Kelly Hunt, she's been on before. But we have an audience who they may forget. We have new people. Just speak to the audience a bit. Today, we're just going to talk about what it is you do, what programs you have coming up, and how can the general public benefit, but also how the general public can get involved to assist in what you're doing. So just let's start off with, just for those who may not know, what is the Coalition for Protection of Children and what do you do?
So basically, we believe that how we care for our children and protect their welfare and prepare them for the future is like the most important thing. We have a lot of programs that assist children directly, which are in the schools and in our teen lounge. We also offer case management to parents to better support their children and be self-sustainable. So basically, we kind of touch every area of the community to ensure that children are being taken care of, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I remember, and growing up, you always heard about the program, being out there giving people, children breakfast who may not have eaten, whatnot. A new school year is coming up, and you just heard me, I'm not going to say ranting, but very passionately speaking about the challenges that Bermuda faces. There are parents that are struggling, like average parents that are struggling. What does the coalition offer these parents and children, and what can they look forward to in terms of assistance from the coalition as the new school year?
So, currently, we run a breakfast program. We are in 17 schools. I know if I go back, like just thinking about the research and things, we serviced in 2016, we served over 80,000 breakfasts. So just imagine where we are right now in 2022 with people who are unemployed and unable to provide for their children. So we are in 17 schools. We are looking to be in every school on island. And what that looks like is we offer breakfast. It may be a granola bar, cereal, milk, a fruit cup, juice or water. And this is every day that school is open. We offer this. So that's something for the kids to look forward to. There is no sign-up sheet. If you are hungry, you can eat, because with the understanding that some parents make early time to work, you may be eating at 6 o'clock, and by the time you get to school, you may still be hungry. So we still offer breakfast to those who have eaten already, who may be hungry, because it's proven that, you perform better once you've had breakfast during the day.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to ask, is this, and this is a controversial question in respects to some other things happening right now, but is there a criteria for the school? Meaning, does it have to be a certain public or private? Does it have to be a certain public school area? Like, what's the criteria?
So currently we are in the public schools only because a lot of the private schools already have meal plans. So they offer a lot of these services already as far as breakfast and things like that. We also have some public schools that have a breakfast program already that maybe a church is sponsoring. Mm-hmm. So we do
Hello, you there, Stephanie?
Yes.
I think we lost you a bit just now. Just repeat it because we lost you a bit.
I'm sorry. Okay, so currently we are offering it to the public schools. Not to say that private schools are not in need, but a lot of the private schools already have a lunch and breakfast program set up within their school. We also have some public schools that are sponsored by churches for breakfast programs. So of course we are not needed in those programs. And there's the odd occasion that we have a school that may reach out and say, hey, we have 5 people that aren't able to afford lunches. Can you help us? And we can drop off supplies for teachers to make sandwiches or anything that they can microwave to give to the kids.
Interesting, Sancha.
So with the cost of living rising, the government recently just provided some relief in $150 to go to public school students. How would you advise that the parents use this money? How do they go about spending this?
So for me, I think I was under the impression that it would go towards school clothes because families have not received it yet. I would say the snacks and lunch items are the biggest things that parents need because of how costly everything is. A lot of the schools are, kind of honing in on no trash, but it's very difficult as a parent to purchase items in bulk for many children that require no trash. I mean, when we look at strawberries that are $9, a bag of Halos the other day I bought that was $14, and you have 4 or 5 kids, that is going in like 2 days. So snacks is like the biggest thing. And I think we have a post on our Instagram, if you guys take a look, of how you can spend $50. Keep in mind, this was like 2 years ago, so we are going to update that, but we can take $50 and buy a meal for the week. It may not be, steak and shrimp and lobster, but it is a meal that your family can have either for breakfast, lunch, or dinner throughout the week. And that is on our Instagram page.
I absolutely love that idea. Like literally, like talent. And I'm happy for that question because, depending on, what we like and versus what fulfills our needs are 2 different things. And at the end of the day, we need nourishment. It doesn't have to be steak and shrimp, as she said, right? But if it's given us the foundation for us to be able to think and, function, then we're good. So I appreciate that. And would you mind if we shared something, an updated one on our social media platforms as well? Because I think that was very well needed.
Do that. And I think parents just need to be aware of cooking meals that can stretch. So that may be like the spaghetti and meat sauce that can feed you for 2 days, as opposed to, getting a tray of chicken that everyone's going to eat that one night. So those are the things that we look at. What meals can stretch over the course? And it may be that you buy chicken legs instead of chicken thighs because more of them come in there and they're less expensive.
If you have any questions for Stephanie, please please send them through, and we'll get as many through to her as possible. Get essentially.
So it has been a long summer. I'm actually happy that it's coming to an end. I feel like this is the last week of summer, and it's time for kids to get back to school and in the classroom. How does the Coalition for Protection of Children help to make this transition smooth?
So before summer ended, we actually did a few PTAs on, summer, how to manage your child during the summer. We talked about routines. We talked about, limited time on the iPad. We talked about all of this. And the same thing applies to moving into that school year, transitioning back into school. We like to give our clients, advice on scheduling routines. So that means, okay, the week before school starts, getting your child into bed early so that they know what to expect when school does start. It may be that, you have extracurriculars coming up. We need to schedule how you're going to do your chores, what time you're going to do it. All of those things matter when children go back to school because they're so used to being free during the summer that once you put that routine in place, they kind of don't want to do it. And so not only do you have homework coming in, you have a child that does not want to follow the routine, and then you find yourself burnt out as a parent. So we talk about self-care for parents. We talk about the routines. We talk about the meal preps. It may be that you work nights. You may have to make 3 meals on a Sunday that can last you to Wednesday. So the routine is very important for children.
I'm a mom, and Jamal, this is all hitting home. I'm like, how do I take these classes? Yeah, like it's seriously, it's a lot. But one of the things I was thinking about when I knew we were having this conversation, there are some children who on the first day of school can be really rough. I know me, when I was younger, I was excited about first day of school.
Really?
But I was like, my mom used to give me a budget, and I used to go into town and get my own school clothes and shoes. It was a big deal for me. But there are some parents that aren't able to provide like the basic necessities, such as the shoes and the clothing and stuff like that. And it makes these kids feel they're not as excited and they're not as comfortable when they actually get into the classroom because they're sitting next to a kid that has it all. How are those children's needs addressed mentally and physically?
So some of the things that we do for our clients, we refer them to Gina Spence, who does a great job at reaching the whole community, trying to ensure that everyone has at least one set of school clothes. For our direct clients, and I'll speak later about how you can become a client, we do offer supplemental support. I mean, it's not a lot, but we try to ensure that our clients, in conjunction with Gina Spence, do have that one school uniform or the gym clothes or the school shoes that they need when entering school. I think the schools do a good job as well. I know, like when my son went to Berkeley, they were offering things from the Lost and Found, which I look at it like my son's lost his sweater the first day of school and never to see it again. So that child that receives that sweater, the child that had it before has only wore it once. So with the understanding that parents can receive secondhand items that are still usable, that are still in good condition. And not having to let the child know that, because once you wash something, it doesn't have to look like it's been through the ringer. So those are some of the things that, we look at. You may receive secondhand things, but it's not something that you have to tell your child.
Yeah. So next, I have a 6-year-old, and he's now moving up into the lower primary years of his school, which is a huge step for him because he's been 3 to 6 the same classroom. And actually, just yesterday, he went to a new camp, and he called me crying like, "I'm so nervous," and I'm just like, what? As a parent, what can I do? Because I know it's coming. Like, Mommy, I'm going to be uncomfortable, and how do I make new friends? And what do I do to ease his fears and make him feel comfortable with his new environment that he's going to be going into?
So a lot of times you would advise, especially going to a new school, maybe driving by the new school, getting out on the property, being able to show them the play area, ensuring that they have had a visual of their surroundings. Kind of being able to meet the teacher. I know a lot of primary schools do that for P1, not necessarily moving up, but having that contact, maybe being like, okay, well, I've contacted your teacher. You have like 16 children in your class. Also ensuring that during the summer, they are incorporated in enough community events. So that may be when they have the book reading in the park, taking them to that so that they're used to meeting new friends. It may be that they attend a camp that they've never been to before, and then they've met new friends there. Kind of helping them to transition is exposing them to other community events where children are.
Now, in saying that, now that I've made sure he's having this smooth transition, as a parent, what are some of the red flags? Should I call them red flags that I should be looking for now that school has started to say, okay, is he okay? Is it something that I need to be checking in on? What is some of those things?
So this is a good point for me to interject our program, Safety Matters. So we provide a program within the school called Safety Matters that allows children to understand the meaning of abuse. And this may look like abuse from friends. This may look like, and that would be bullying. Also abuse from adults, teachers, parents, anyone. So this program basically gives you 5 safety rules. And these safety rules will help you from primary school straight through to adulthood. Basically, it just allows you as the parent, or the safe adult, as they call it, to check in to see if everything's going great. Having children understand that whatever happens isn't usually their fault when it comes to abuse. But these are the things that we put forth in the school, because a lot of times children go to school and they're scared to tell on someone else if they're being bullied. They won't tell a parent. You'll notice things like children being withdrawn, not really wanting to go to school, saying that they're not hungry, not eating, and those types of things would be the red flags to see if your child is actually okay in school.
That's so funny you say that, like Jamal. If Maddox comes home and he's eaten all his lunch for the day, I know that he's had a great day. If he comes home and nothing is eaten, I'm like, what happened? It's always a question. I can tell how his day is based on his lunch that he ate. So that's a point. Yeah. So, if someone is in need of your assistance, how do they go about reaching out to the program?
So they can call our direct line. We do have a website online, but giving us a call, speaking with a worker there. We have 3 caseworkers currently, and just setting up an intake. An intake is really quick. It just maybe 20 minutes of your time. We get basic information. We try to figure out, the problem at hand. It may be that, you may have employment, but you're not making enough income. It may be that you're unemployed and seeking employment, but unable to find it. So we provide basic case management, and that may be in the form of employability skills, parenting classes, anything that will help you to be self-sustainable. So it may be that you have a great job, but you just can't get the house together. Everyone's late every day. Homework's not being completed. You're unable to, get the laundry done at the same time, get the kids' homework done. So we may provide basic things like a routine or a schedule or help you out with that. So it doesn't always have to be a family that's in need. It may just be a family that may not know how to self-manage or manage their large family at hand.
I got a lot of questions coming in from the audience. Mark Arthur C. Phillips asking, how can someone give donations to the coalition?
So on our website, you can donate directly through our website, or you can contact our main office. Lynn has actually put the number in the chat. There she goes again. And basically you can give either by voucher. We accept any type of Belco, groceries. So these are the things that we find our parents need. And Belco would be probably the biggest one at this point, because when you look at it, families can find food. A lot of the time, Salvation Army is every day. Like, there are meals out there. The problem is no one else is helping with the bills. So Belco is constantly increasing. And that's something that we need, right? Lights. We do have families that are living without lights because the Belco bill is so high. Internet. Children have homework that require them to do research. We accept like internet vouchers. So any type of donation is never too small, even if it's diapers. We purchase diapers on a monthly basis, diapers and formula for families that are in need.
Interesting. We've got Rosalind Famous asking, what has been your observation? What has been your observation been on the cause for the rise for the need for the breakfast program?
So breakfast is a very interesting topic because, of course, children are hungry. And like I said, I can eat breakfast. If I wake up early and go to the gym, I come home and I eat breakfast at 6. I know by 10 o'clock, I am starving. So, and yes, kids have fruit break, but one piece of fruit may not be enough. So we notice that children are coming to school hungry. Some may be that they don't have enough at home, but others is that they've eaten so early because parents have to go to work, and they have to be at school for a long period of time without anything to do. So they're running up and down, they're burning their energy, and they are still hungry. There has definitely been an increase in the past. Well, COVID wasn't so bad. We were actually delivering breakfasts to homes during COVID because we knew the need from the school year. So this year coming up, I think will be the telling piece for us. Like I said, we've given 80,000 breakfasts in 2016.
Interesting. And we've got Karen Simmons asking, does the coalition offer workshops or seminars to the community outside of your clientele?
We do. We recently did a workshop online with HSBC on money management. It talked about budgeting. We partner with a lot of outside agencies to ensure that not only our clients, but the community also has the same information. So we may offer a parenting class online, which talks about routines. We may go to a school and be like, okay, let's get your parents educated on different topics that they need to know, whether it be safety or internet safety, things like that. So we are offering programs outside of just our clientele. You'll just have to follow our social media to find out when we offer them.
All right, Stephanie Outerbridge, thank you so much. This has been a helpful conversation, and I truly do hope that one day, and this is not to put you all out of a job, but my hope is one day that your services won't be as much of a need as they are now. I always used to say with police officers, my hope is that we can live in a community where we need less policemen and more engineers, more doctors. But I'm grateful for the work that you guys are doing, and there is a need, and thank you for fulfilling the need. And also thank you for trusting our platform to engage for our audience. And if there's anything we can do going forward as you continue to unveil new programs, please reach out. We'll be happy to have you on to ensure that our audience knows what the important conversations are and how to spread the word at the water cooler, at the family functions, and so on. So thanks once again.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Stephanie Outerbridge, the Coalition for Protection of Children. If you appreciated that conversation, found the information helpful, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. And as I said, please share this information. This is important information. The work they're doing is honestly, we cannot overstate how important it is. No child should go hungry. Let's just keep it real. No child should go hungry, and Bermudians are struggling right now. So we've got work to do. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to come back. We'll give our final thoughts. We'll have the daily play. The daily play.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
Thank you once again. Thank you so much to Stephanie Outerbridge of the Coalition for the Protection of Children for today's conversation. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Linders for ensuring we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol, and Bermuda Trivia. Now available at various locations throughout the island. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sandra, are you ready?
I don't have a choice.
It's a remember when, Sister Sandra. All right. So remember, I gave you a hint earlier.
What was the hint?
I said, remember, Serena Williams.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Serena Williams question, folks. No Googling. Serena Williams competed in her final U.S. Open championship last night. She won her first round game, and hopefully we'll be seeing her in another final and the opportunity to win it one last time. What year did she win her first major singles title, which was at the U.S. Open?
Okay. So I'm not into tennis. I'll say that. Let's say 2000 and it had to be early 2000, late like 2000 and I'm guessing 2. Am I close? 99. Yeah.
I don't know what Cher is trying right here. Yeah. I don't know what Cher is trying right there, but do you think
I was gonna say like 90s. I was gonna say that. You know what I was thinking? Because I'm like, she has to be around about my age. And if I was playing tennis, I probably started about 18. So yeah.
Yeah, it was 1999. She won her first singles title, U.S. Open, and I think she will win her last singles title at the U.S. Open this year. We are rooting for her.
Yes, I will be following.
Anyway, final thoughts on today's discussion, airport, and then the topic with Stephanie.
Listen, nothing surprises me anymore. I'm just in that space. I just think that we need to take care of home. If it had something to do with the airlines, then there needs to be some sort of protocols or we need to step up and say, this is our island, this is our space. How do we handle this moving forward? Right? Let's figure that part out so that we're not stuck with egg on our face if it happens again. How do we make it right? Or not right, but better. How do we make it better so we're not getting all this bad publicity?
Great.
That's one. Now, I really enjoyed our conversation with the coalition today. It's, me being a mom, being a parent, sometimes I feel like I'm overwhelmed, right? So I do not need as much like, okay, the breakfast and all that sort of stuff. But I'm happy to hear that there are classes that I can take to help me as a mother to organize myself, to put routines in place for Maddox to help us out. So I will be going online. I will be following. If they have any sort of classes that I can sign up for, I'm interested. And even volunteering. I'm all about volunteering these days, Jamal. I want to be a part of it. Let me volunteer. So yeah, it was a really good conversation. I'm happy I
Indeed.
was a part of it.
I think with the airport situation, there are lessons to be learned there. I don't have the answers for it. I just don't. But I think it's an opportunity for us to figure some things out. As far as Stephanie, like I said just now, I think we as a community need to be working towards a space where we don't need those kind of services. However, we currently do, and we need to support the work that they're doing to ensure that no child goes hungry. You've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. So life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact. Everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it once you learn that. You'll never be the same again. And that is from Steve Jobs.
I can't love that enough. Thanks to all partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you. We love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sancha Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. My friends, please do make it a safe and great day. Peace.